Alright, so our first video is complete. That was kind of the easy one. Now we're ready to start playing around with those words and getting into some of the new grammar rules that we have to learn to really master English. So, to complete this lesson, continuing chapter 8 of the Blue Book, you need this page, page 69 of your textbook. You do not need to print this one. Or actually, go ahead and print this one. Print this one. And page 51 of your activity book. Go ahead and print this one also. Okay? Alright, so let's start out with page 69. It says, shirts are over there. So we're talking about clothes in a store. And now we're going to go over some of these words, some of these nouns, in fact. Remember, nouns are any person, place, or thing. And clothing is definitely a thing. But we're going to look at what happens when there's more than one of them, when it becomes plural. Singular means one, single. Plural means more than one. Okay? So, a shirt, singular, shirts, plural. A coat, singular, coats, plural. You get the idea. A hat, hats. A belt, belts. These are the simple ones. But, because English is weird, there had to be some exceptions to the rule, and we're going to go over those now. So, singular and plural, we have a tie, ties. See, it has an S, but it makes a Z sound. Ties. We don't say ties, it's ties. Okay? An umbrella, umbrellas. Again, we have an S, but if you listen close, it's more of a Z sound. I'll zoom in a little. Okay. A sweater, sweaters. Next, we have plural words which have kind of an IZ sound. A dress, singular, dresses, plural. Dresses. Can you hear it? Sounds a little weird. A watch, watches. A blouse, blouses. It looks like blouses, but we say blouses. A necklace, necklaces. Okay? So we get some of those z sounds when we make some of our nouns plural. And it's just one of those things you have to learn by practice. So let's see some practice. Okay. Excuse me, I'm looking for a shirt. Shirts are over there. Thanks. Excuse me, I'm looking for a tie. Ties are over there. Thanks. Excuse me, I'm looking for a dress. Dresses are over there. Thanks. Okay? Alright, so now let's go ahead and we'll complete this lesson here. We'll complete this lesson. So over here, there's really no good way to do this one as a writing exercise. You're going to have more writing exercises later. So we're just going to do this as a speaking exercise at home. I want you to just say this out loud at home. Excuse me, I'm looking for this, and then answer. But remember, pay attention to this box at the top. Are you going to talk about umbrellas with a Z? Or are you going to talk about coats with an S? Okay? Pay attention to the sound. We're trying to practice getting the sound right. Okay? So for number one, you would say, excuse me, I'm looking for a jacket. Jackets are over there. Okay. Just say all of those out loud and listen to yourself. Hint, umbrellas has a Z, okay? So say that out loud. We'll do them one at a time, actually. So do number one. I don't know if we even really need to pause. Just do number one. Say that, excuse me, I'm looking for a jacket. Jackets are over there. I'll wait. Okay. So you should have said, excuse me, I'm looking for a jacket. Jackets are over there. Okay. Number two. Okay. Give your practice conversation for number two. I'll wait. All right, do you say it? You should have said, excuse me, I'm looking for an umbrella. Umbrellas are over there. Umbrellas with the Z, okay? Number three. This one. Your turn, go first. Okay, you should have said, excuse me, I'm looking for a watch. Watches are over there. Watches with a Z. Number four, your turn. All right, so what you should have said is, excuse me, I'm looking for a sweater. Sweaters are over there. Sweaters. Number five. Excuse me. Oh, you go ahead. You go first. Okay. You should say, excuse me, I'm looking for a hat. Hats are over there. Hats with a S sound. Your turn. Go ahead. Okay. What you should have said is, excuse me, I'm looking for a shirt. Shirts are over there. Number seven. Okay, you should have said, excuse me, I'm looking for a belt. Belts, S with an S, belts are over there. And number eight. Do number eight. So you should have said, excuse me, I'm looking for a necklace. Necklaces with a Z over there. Good. All right. Now, we may as well keep going and finish up this page. Okay? So now, this is why you printed the page. Okay? You have this at the bottom. Put these words in the correct column. Okay? And you've got these words, and you got to put them, do they have an S sound at the end, a Z sound at the end, or an IZ sound at the end? I won't read them for you because that would be giving you the answer. So, oh, and at the bottom it says some irregular plurals you know are a man, men, a woman, women, a child, children, a person, people, a tooth, teeths, a mouse, mice. Good. I hope you're paying attention to those. We will see them again. Okay? So take a minute and fill this in according to what sound you hear. You can't go by the letter you look at. You have to listen to what sound it makes, okay? So, fill in the answers. You can pause the video now, fill in the answers, come back to me when you're done. All right, very good. Very good. So, S, that would be boots. What else? Pants. Socks. Boots, pants, socks. The Z, okay? That would be earrings gloves, and shoes. Earrings, gloves, and shoes. And the IZ sound, that'd be briefcases, glasses, and purses. Do you get all of those? Okay, good. Let's go on to the next page. We're not done yet. Not done yet. So next page, page 51. Here they have a page that I think really should have gotten a lesson in the textbook, but it didn't. So instead we're getting a lesson here in the activity book. And that's the difference between the words a and an. Okay? A and an. A is a word we put in front of a singular noun, like a shirt versus two shirts. It means one, really. Or a map, a coffee cup, a teacher. Okay? But what makes a and an weird, in fact, what makes it, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think pretty much the only word in the English language that follows this kind of rule is it changes depending on whether we have a vowel sound at the beginning of the word. Okay? So, do you remember vowels from our lessons way back when? What letters are vowels? Okay? Those are right. A, E, I, O, U. Those 5 sounds. And sometimes Y. We're mostly interested in these 5, though. The vowel sounds. Those are the special letters in the English language that can make 2 sounds if they're near another vowel. And we spent a long time on this. For everybody who I had in class during the year, I went over this. I had a special period where I went over this to make sure everyone knew it. Everyone, for every level, to make sure that nobody had forgotten it, because vowels are very important. So I really hope you remember it now, because we did study it. This is one of the reasons you have to study vowels, because they keep coming up. So, we put the word a in front of a word that's not a vowel, like a bus station. But we change it to an when we have a word that begins with a vowel, like an umbrella. Okay? Anytime it's a vowel sound, we use an. So it'd be like an orange, an individual, an incredible movie. You know, anytime the word that comes right after it begins with a vowel sound, we use the word an. Okay? And I'm not sure this comes up here, but there are some words like the word hour, which sound like they begin with a vowel, sound like it starts with an O, but it actually begins with a silent H. Those still get the word an, not a. It doesn't matter if there's really a vowel at the beginning of a word. What matters is if you hear a vowel sound at the beginning of the word. So we say an hour, okay? All right, so over here we're practicing a or an, and you just have to remember that. Are we talking about a word that begins with a consonant, a regular letter, or a vowel? And if it begins with a vowel, we use the word an, okay? All right, so you can go through that then. Fill that in. We'll go over it when you're done. After that, we have more practice of what we were just talking about on the last page, singular and plural. So they're talking about a hat, hats, a basement, basements. But be careful. Sometimes you're going to need to say an instead of a. So watch out. Pay attention. Are you going to say an or are you going to say a? Okay? And then when you say plural, are you just going to put an S on the end? Or are you going to put an ES on the end? Or is it some crazy irregular word like woman, which changes to women instead of womans, okay? So there's a lot of things that can change on this, okay? So, I think you understand what you got to do. I just think you got to be careful you don't forget anything, because there's a lot of things to remember here. Okay? And then the listening exercise, we are not going to do that one. I don't think that one is helpful. So just do those 2 exercises and then come back to me. Pause the video, do your work. All right, so let's run through these. A school, an office. Did you say an? Check your work. Check your work when I do this. We're not done. Even when you're done writing, you're not done. You have to now listen to me and check what you wrote, okay? An office, a radio, an earring, a hospital, an antenna, an email, a yard, a library, a cell phone, an exercise, a house, a bank, a woman, an apartment, a laundromat, an uncle, an attic, a flower, an aunt, a fax, a hotel. Do you get all that? Okay. Now let's do the more complicated one. All right. So, they did the worst one for you. A hat, hats. A basement, basements. So far, so good. Number 3. A dress, dresses, with an ES at the end. Dresses. A boss, bosses, with an ES at the end. BOSSES. Did you write ES? I hope so. An exercise, exercises, with an S at the end. We don't put an extra E at the end. Just the same E they already had, and an X. A watch, watches. A glove, gloves. A sock, socks. A drum, drums. A room, rooms. An earring, earrings. Just with an S. It sounds like a Z sort of thing, but it's just an S. A purse, purses. A niece, nieces. A woman, women. A child. Remember? CHILD, child, children. A mouse, mice. A tooth, teeth. A person, people. So I hope you remembered that from the other day with some of our irregular nouns. There's lots of irregular words in English. That's the end of this activity. See you next time.